Okay, how to create a customized slab edge. We have a footing, which is basically a slab edge. That's the way Revit sees these footings, but basically this is what we need to create. So on the Revit model, we actually have a command that we can use. It's called slab edge. And when you put a slab edge, there's only one type of slab edge that we can put in there, and you would actually select the bottom edge of the foundation all the way around. I'm not sure if you can do this in any other view, but I usually do these on 3D. The thing though, is this is not the slab edge that I need for my particular footing. I need it to specifically look like this with these sizes. And that's not going to happen in this case. The one that's there now, whenever I go to the slab edge, this one is a type of slab edge that exists. But to show you a little bit better, I'm going to go ahead and create myself a section view. I'm going to go to my view, go to my floor plan view, and I'm just going to go back to view section, and I'm going to create a section in here like this, and then go to the actual section view, and we can see the slab edge right here. Okay, notice we need it to look like this. So it is different, unfortunately. It is different. So what's going to happen, it's the slab edge that exists now, it's kind of like this type of thing, but we need it to look like this. So it is different. It is different. Okay. So how are we going to do that? So let's go back over here to Revit. A couple of things. So I can see this a little bit better, I'm going to change the detail level to medium or fine, just so I can see the actual hatch patterns. And none of that, there's an object line in here. So there's all kinds of things that are wrong with this thing that I need to fix. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make my own slab edge. And what happens is when I go to the slab edge that exists, it's based off of a profile. And we do have different profiles. We have several of them. But unfortunately, any of these profiles that exist under this one defined slab edge, none of them are the one that I want. Once again, this is what I need it to look like, and that's not what I'm getting. Okay. So the trick to it is to make your own, to make your own. Now, before we get to that part, we're gonna have to kind of consider one thing. Is I already have my 4-inch concrete slab right in here, and because of that, when I look at the profile, because I'm gonna have to create myself a profile, I'm not gonna include that. So the profile I'm gonna draw is really this part right in here because the slab is actually attached to the bottom of the foundation. So I'm gonna make this profile right here, not considering the foundation because that already exists on my Revit model. So this is the part that I need to make. So I need to kind of consider this, the size of it. Remember, we have 24 inches, 2 feet from the bottom to here. So this is actually be a 20-inch line um, right in here because I'm going to minus the 4 inches of the thickness of the slab. So that's going to be 20 inches. This is going to be 1/4 or 12 inches. And then this part right in here, I'm just gonna have to use my geometry with 6 inches, and it's a 45-degree angle that we're gonna be using there. So considering that information, what happens in Revit, I'm gonna have to make my own profile. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to File, and I'm gonna make myself a new family. So the profile that I need is actually a family. So I'm gonna make myself a family, and we are able to make different kinds of families. Of course, I'm gonna use English Imperial right in here. And the profile that I want to create, I want to create a profile. So I want to use a template that's configured for a profile. So here we are. So I'm going to make myself a new family, but using a profile template, which has already been configured for a profile. So it's going to open up my family editor. Notice that the ribbon change is just different. It's looking for lines and circles and other things that I can draw. But in here is where I'm going to draw the slab edge. Once again, considering that information that I shouldn't have erased, I should have kept it. But nonetheless, it's going to be this profile right in here, 20 inches this way, 12. And then I'm going to draw the 6-inch angle at a 6-inch at an angle of 45 degrees. I don't know what this line is, the length of it, but basically I just draw the geometry, and that should work for me on this profile. The point of reference that I'm going to use is going to be, and I don't have to, but this is what I choose to use, is this is going to be my point of reference on that profile view. Okay. So go back over here, draw a line. I'm going to draw a line from here coming down this way. I mentioned that the 20 inches, and then I'm going to come over this way, the 12 inches. And this one, I don't know what it is. So I'm just going to draw myself a line up this way. I'm going to come with another line from here this way. So let me think how I'm going to draw this. So 12 inches, 6 inches at a 45-degree angle. Okay, let me see, let me see, let me see. Obviously, there's more than one way of doing this, but nonetheless, 6 inches at a 45-degree angle. So I guess I'll just come down to 6 inches, come across this way. Is this 6 inches also? 6 inches here, and then just simply connect. Again, so many different ways of drawing this thing right in there. And then trim and delete. So that's the profile that I need. No materials, no nothing. It's just a profile. And you can save it if you want to, or you don't have to. You can just simply load it back into the project, but I'm going to save it. And if you haven't made yourself a collection of families, you should make yourself a folder somewhere on your Google Drive. And I would start collecting these. And this one, I'm just going to put it here on this one folder, and I'm just going to call it concrete footing. And then for myself, I'm going to call it edge. Save. Okay. So this is my concrete footing edge profile, and I'm going to go load it into the project, and then it's going to load into the project. Okay. Now remember, it's just been loaded to the project, so I still have to come back to these, um, to the slab edge, edit type, and what happens is that now it actually is one of the profiles that I needed. So as always, I always recommend to make a duplicate concrete footing edge is the family I'm going to create. And then to that one, I'm going to change the profile to the one I just created, the concrete footing edge. Hit OK. And yep, I always do this one. I always forget which side it's going. So it's on the wrong side. So it's really not too big of a deal. We just need to go to 3D, select it, and then we should have some arrows in here somewhere so we can flip it backwards. There it is. And just simply flip it back to the inside. And that's how you get that profile. But there's still a couple of things we need to do. I'm going to go back over here. Notice now I have the footing that I need. That one does match this pretty much, except we now have an object line in there. I'm going to change the scale. Usually wall sections, if you ever drawn there, the scale is a little bit less, which will make your line weights a little bit less heavy. So then now to join these, to get rid of this object line, we need to select this guy, and we need to adjust the material of that concrete footing. But I need to match the material of this foundation. So the foundation, when I originally created, I did use a material of concrete cast in place gray, if I'm not mistaken. Let me move this over. Concrete cast in place gray. So once you match the material of the foundation and the footings, that object line should disappear. Sometimes it doesn't, but let's go ahead and check that and change it, because that's really the way it should be done. Concrete, let me filter in here. Concrete cast in place gray, hit OK. So that's it. Okay. Of course, we're seeing some other things here and there. Of course, those are things that we have to adjust on the section view. We'd have to go to where I placed the section view, select it. We have to adjust the view range and change all those different things. But nonetheless, that's how you create a concrete footing to match your what's been given to you. Okay. I'm going to make you another video because this is a footing that exists throughout the house. So in some cases, right now, we just did the footing that's really just on the edges, all the way on the edges, but we should have some footings also inside the property in different areas. But I know on this one, we'll have one in here, one in here. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, one through here. So we have to do those. That's a little bit of a different process. It is basically using, well, I'll explain it in the next video. So please enjoy the next video.